Dennis Hastert is that good-looking black gentleman that is the voice for Allstate Insurance. You've heard him for years. He says that you're in good hands with Allstate. The most recent commercial that is out with him is he's in a burger joint and he's about ready to order his lunch when different people begin to recognize him. The guy behind the counter, the cooks who are putting up the orders, the customers that have come and they're sitting around the table. All of them have seen him, they recognize him, they've heard his voice, they recognize this voice, and they all say, hey, that's the Safe Driver 40% guy. That's the Safe Driver 40% guy. That's the Safe Driver 40% guy. And he kind of turns and looks at them with a little sense of disbelief of all of the excitement that has begun to resonate through that particular restaurant. They all talk about him. Nobody does anything about it. One day during that last week, Jesus was probably up on the Temple Mountain, and there were some Greeks. Now, we're not really sure if they were Jews that had come from Greece to celebrate the Passover, or whether, and perhaps most commentaries would say, that they were Gentiles that were there in the court of Gentiles. But regardless of who they were not Jews from that region. And they were there, and so was Jesus. And they recognized that they were in the very same place that he was in. And so they began to elbow each other. They began to point. They began to say, there he is. That's the one that we've been hearing about. That's the one that so many people are talking about. That's Jesus. I'm sure that's Jesus. And they went and they found Philip. Philip was one of the disciples. They found Philip, and they said to Philip, we would like to meet Jesus. We would like to see Jesus. And Philip went to Andrew, and together, Philip and Andrew went to Jesus and said to Jesus, there are some Greeks here that would like to see you. And Jesus made a strange comment. He said, the hour has come. It's recorded for us in the Gospel of John, the 12th chapter, beginning with the 20th verse. And I encourage you to go and open up your Bible and read the story from there. He says, the hour has come. We have no record that Jesus went and met with those Greeks or those Gentiles. We simply see Jesus taking that as a cue that things are about to rapidly get into motion. And he begins to say, the hour's come, and then he says, unless a grain dies, it will not bear fruit. And he seems to be suggesting that, yeah, they'll see me. But they're not going to see me the way they think they're going to see me. They're going to see me descend into the very depths of hell. For the hour is where the deceiver, where Satan will be cast out forever. But in order for me to be able to cast him away, I must first die. It's a strange message. And we look at it from the lens of Easter always, but imagine what it may have been like there without Easter. we tend to want to move from Palm Sunday with the triumphal entry and everybody's excited to Easter. And in fact, most people only know that story. Oh yeah, there's a crucifixion in there. But if you go to Sunday on Palm Sunday and then you don't live out the rest of the week and then you go to Sunday on Easter, you've missed the most important work of what God was doing in our midst. That he had in fact come to die in order that the world might be changed. We're in a day and age where it seems as if everything that we considered sacred and holy and everything that we considered secular and worldly seems to be passing away right before our eyes. Not only are we worried about our health and the health of those that we love, we're worried about our businesses. We're worried about our neighbors who have lost their jobs, and perhaps some have lost their jobs here in our church. We're worried about so many things because all those things which we deemed important are now suspect. Maybe they're dying away. But Jesus says, unless the grain dies, it will not bear fruit. And as we look towards the end of the week and the resurrection, we look through it through our own struggle and through our own pain and through our own loss. But we've got this promise. We've got this promise that it's going to bear much fruit. And so, on this Tuesday of Holy Week, let me encourage you to let some of those things go. Let some things die. For it is in their death that we will receive an abundance. For surely we know that in the death of Christ and in the ultimate resurrection, it wasn't saving 40%, but it was the saving of the whole world. And it wasn't just a catchy commercial, but truly, we are in good hands with our Creator. May God bless you on this journey through Lent and Holy Week.